surface area and volume. So these pictures are actually on page 13. I'm going to do one of them with you, and then you're going to do the other one. So our equations here is we're doing the surface area is equal to the volume. So I went ahead and wrote out what our formulas were there. Okay, so we've got 2 times the length width, 2 times the length and height, and 2 times the width height. Well, let's just do a visual, because I'm a visual person. When you do surface area, it's kind of like you're thinking of each of these surfaces as their own. And then you're really going to add them all together. Well, on a cube or a rectangular prism, depending on what we're working with, you always have 2 sides that are the same. So you've got this front and this back that are the same. So if I find the area of one of them, I actually have 2. So I'm going to set it up like this, 2 times, and then I'm going to find the area of one of them. And then we're going to simplify in a little bit. So to find the area of this rectangle or square, it's x times 6. So I'm going to write that out as 6x, because that's how you're used to seeing it written. Plus, okay, so now I'm going to switch colors. Let's work off of this one. And it's the same thing. It's going to be 2 times this, because the other one is right over here that you can't see. So if this height here was 6 on the red, it's all, or sorry, not 6, x on the red, it's also x on my blue. So there I've got 6 times x is 6x, and there's 2 of those. Okay, and then I've got the top here, or the bottom, which are the same. So I can visually see the top. The dimensions here, well, this was 6. Sorry, I'm going to write that better. And this dimension was 6. Hey, I've got both dimensions on that. So 6 times 6 is 36, and there's another one on the bottom. So there's 2 of those. So 2 plus 2 times 36 is equal to, okay, so for the volume, it's the area of the base times the height. So the base is the same as the top. Okay, my base is actually, usually if I think of it, it's the bottom. Well, here I can see the top, they're the same thing. So it's 36, the area, times the height is x, so it's 36x. Okay, so now I'm going to simplify my front half or my left half here. So here, I've got 2 times 6 is 12x, plus 2 times 6 is 12x, plus 2 times 36 is 72, equals 36x. Okay, so I can simplify a little more, and I can use combining like terms. Okay, and some of you are wanting to shift those and get rid of them individually, but when it's the x, it does not work to do that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and combine these and simplify our left side of our equal sign. So when I combine those, 12 plus 12 is 24 x's, plus 72 equals 36x. Okay, so here's my equal sign. I already have the x's by themselves on the right side, so I'm going to get rid of this 24x. So minus 24. Remember, it was a positive, so the opposite is minus. Minus 24x. I have 72 equals 36 minus 24 is 12x. So now I'm going to go ahead and divide by 12 to get it out of there. Divide by 12. 72 divided by 12 is 6. So x equals 6. And if you're, how does she do that? You can use the calculator. Just remember, it's always top divided by bottom. Let me see if I can get my calculator to come back up. So it's going to be 72 divided by 12. Plus this will double check myself, make sure I did that mentally correctly. So x equals 6. So I'm going to go ahead and write x equals 6. Okay, so now if I substitute in here, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to substitute in 6's here. So 6 times 6, I would get 36 for this. And there's another one in the back. So I've got 2 36's. I'm going to erase this over here just so we can erase this part. And I hope you didn't need that work, but you can always rewind the video and go back and see what I had there. Okay, so I've got 2 36's. Okay, that was my front and my back. Then I've got my right and left. So this was 6 here. So 6 times 6 is 36. There's another one there. So there's 2 36's. And then we already knew the top was 6 times 6. So that was, again, another bottom. So plus 2 36s. So 72 plus 72 plus 72. Or I could take 72 times 3 if I don't want to do it so much. So 72 times 3 gives me 216. So I just found out that the surface area equals 216. Now I'm going to do the volume. So I'm going to substitute in this equation 6. So 36 times 6, not 366. Pull my calculator out. 36 times 6 better give me 216, and it did. So volume equals 216. These are equal to each other, so I know that I did it correctly. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and work your way through letter B on page 12 there, or actually it was page 13, the top of page 13. Okay, so you can either pause the video now and do that, or you can come back to it, but I'm going to go ahead, and shift to the last one, and we're actually going to do this one together. So there's only one question that's working with increasing the size of a figure. So it says work with a partner. Well, I'm your partner, so we're going to do this together. It says the two triangles are similar. The perimeter of the larger triangle is 150% the perimeter of the smaller triangle. So if I knew this perimeter, I could take that times 150%, which is 1.5. And then it should be equal to this perimeter. Remember, we're working perimeter. Okay, so if I do perimeter, that's where I'm adding my sides together. So I have on this one, 10 plus 8 is 18 plus x. So 18 plus x. Now I said I have to take that times 150%, which is 1.5. And then to go through and do this, that is going to be equal to the perimeter of this one. So 15 plus 9 is 24. No, I don't get to say plus 2 and then put an x behind it because those are not like terms. So I add these constants together and get 24. And then plus I have the 2x. I don't get to add them together, okay, because they're not both x's. So now I'm going to go ahead and 1.5 times 18. If you want to use your calculator, you can. That's 27. Plus 1.5 times x is 1.5x equals 24 plus 2x. So once again, I'm looking at this one for strategy because I don't want to work negative numbers if I don't have to. So when I look and I compare this x to this x, they're both positive. I'm going to get rid of the smaller one. So I'm going to move this 1.5x by doing the opposite. So minus 1.5x minus 1.5x. So I have 27 left here equals 24. And then 2 minus 1.5 is going to be a positive 0.5x. Now I'm going to get rid of this 24, so minus 24, because I want to get to find out what x is. Move this down a little bit. Okay, so now I get 3 here equals 0.5x. Okay, so now I'll divide by 0.5. Divide by 0.5. 3 divided by 0.5, if you need to use your calculator, go ahead and do that, but it's going to give me, I believe, 6. 3 divided by 0.5, because I just think of, I've got how many halves in there? I've got 6, that's right. So I just found out that x equals 6. So now we'll go ahead and, what did they want us to find the value of x? Find the dimensions of each triangle. So now I'll just go ahead and put my dimension of, this is going to be a 6, and then we'll change to a different color. And on this one, 2 times 6 gives me, this is now 12. So there are my dimensions. There is more than one way to actually do that. You could have used and just worked off of one side, but the reason that I did that, I could have had 1.5x equals 9 and then worked off of that as a one-step equation. But the reason I worked through this is because of what the lesson was teaching. So that's why I did go through. Yes, there is more than one way to solve through this problem. So hopefully you can get through those other ones independently or with a small group or with a partner. Make sure that you check back with me on your answers just to make sure that you're understanding it.